Hey, it's Andy with Newcastle. I'm gonna go over how to make the perfect mulch ring for your trees. By installing a mulch ring, it's gonna help with moisture retention. The tree roots are a little bit deeper than the turf roots, so any fertilizer that we put down, the grass is gobbling all that stuff up. So by installing these mulch rings, it helps replenish a lot of that soil's nutrients for the tree. For every inch of caliper or diameter on the tree, you wanna have that in feet of mulch ring. So again, this one's right around call it 7 inches in diameter. So I'm gonna have a mulch ring that's right around 7 feet in diameter. So we're gonna start just marking this right around. Wow. The perfect circle. So once you have your perfect tree ring marked out with the paint, you wanna take care of treating the grass that's around this tree. So if we were to come in and just mulch right over top of this, that grass would just grow right through it. So I found from my experience using a herbicide, something that's eco-friendly, as opposed to coming in here and grubbing this material out by hand. If you dig all this turf out by hand, you're gonna end up causing a lot more injury or damage to the fibrous roots on this tree. So from my experience, using an eco-friendly herbicide, something like spruce herbicide works really well. So make sure you have your eye protection and your proper gloves. And then always, whenever you're spraying, you wanna make sure it's a nice calm day. You know, you don't want heavy winds blowing through. You can blow that material anywhere, so you wanna make sure you have a nice controlled environment. So I'm gonna come along the inside, furthest from my radius here, and I'm gonna start treating all along in here. Again, not hitting any of these surface roots. Just making sure you get all of the, as much of the turf as you can. And always being mindful of where your feet are at. You don't wanna track this stuff out into a lawn, walk around the perimeter here. Just being very mindful of where my nozzle's spraying here. I'm just following right along this white line. So what we'll do now, we'll let this sit for a few days, come back and see how the turf is dying off. All right, so here we are a few days later after applying a herbicide. I have my string trimmer here. We're going to want to scalp this existing turf here. There's not much left, but just scalping this down nice and low so we can put our mulch down nice and flat. So just a very little bit of a bed edge that the mulch can sit into. Good. All right, Hugo, so we have our mulch place here for the mulch ring. As always, you want to avoid mulch volcanoes. So a mulch volcano is when you have excess mulch piled up against the root flare of a tree. It might resemble something like this, really piled up high. As opposed to that, this is what you want. Kind of good root flare. You want to be able to see where the roots are coming out from the trunk of the tree. Right, like this is ideal. Piled up too high, this wood that's covered behind the mulch would end up breaking down, decomposing, and you could have tree failure. So make sure that you have just enough mulch around the root flare there. And then we want a good consistent 2 to 3 inches of mulch. All right, so here we have it. This is the final product of this mulch ring. As we're coming into the hotter, drier time of the year into summer, these mulch rings add a lot of value to your trees. They help with that moisture retention. Also with just maintenance around it with the mowers and the weed whackers, you're not gonna be causing that mechanical injury to the tree. So a lot of benefits. If you're interested in a mulch ring, please give us a call.